Alright guys, we did a pretty cool unboxing video on the Zeus cage a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But now that we have the unboxing out of the way, we're going to take a look at the Zeus cage by Varavon. Now this one is designed for the new Sony A7RII or the A7sII. It'll work for both of those brand new cameras. They even showed the A7sII fitted in the Zeus cage at IBC, so it's guaranteed to work. Anyways, just kind of a quick tour of this cage, what makes it a little bit different than other ones out there. First of all, you've got this wooden hand grip here off to the side. Now this one wraps around the larger hand grip of the A7sII or the A7RII. If you were to put an original A7S in here, you'd have a lot of empty space at this handle because they don't have the large hand grip that the new camera bodies have. So you've got this nice real wood handle here off to the side. Obviously, you have access to your ports here. You got your card slot. You've got your battery door underneath here. You've got access to all of your ports here on the side. Your headphone, microphone, HDMI, multi-port. Another thing they've done was they've kept the shoe clear on the top of this Sony. The reason they do that is because these Sony cameras have a kind of like a smart shoe here. Multi-function shoe where they can add an audio adapter to the hot shoe of the Sony cameras. So if your cage blocks this shoe or doesn't allow enough room, you're not going to be able to use those kind of expansion modules from Sony where you can add XLR adapters for your professional microphones. So this cage is purposely cut out so that you could still support some of those adapters if you want to use them. Now on the top here, you notice there's a little rail on the top, this rail on the side. You also have this rail on this side over here. And that is to attach these modular handles. Now these handles are really cool because they can actually articulate in 4 different directions. You've got a bunch of mounting points here on the top as well as on the side. And then you have 2 cold shoe mounts here and then a 15mm clamp for rod support. And in this kit here, we have 2 of these. And then they also give you 2 of these little cord management adapters. I'm not sure exactly what they call it, but they're not really HDMI locks or audio locks. They're more like a pinch or strain relief. And these are some of the most clever little adapters I've seen in a long time. You can put not just one cord, but many cords. You can coil cords. And then the cool thing is that with this quarter threaded adapter here, you can mount it to any part of the cage you want. So you could really manage your cables. So it's a lot smarter than just adding basic locks here on the side. Because once you have those locks in place, sometimes depending on your cable, how thick it is, you could have problems attaching everything here if it's too tight and if you have all the locks here. Instead, what they've done is they've removed all the locks. And they've given you these little cable management little adapters here. So you could still attach it here and give yourself some strain relief, or you can mount it on the handles or on the top or anywhere you want. So I'm going to show you how this works in a second. You'll see how smart they are. Anyways, let's assemble this cage with some accessories, because that's the whole point. You know, when you're working with cameras like these, you know, they're not designed to be dedicated video cameras, but you might want to add a lav microphone, video shotgun microphone, a monitor, LED light, things like that. So that's the whole point about having a cage, is giving you more mounting options, because the camera body alone can't support all those accessories. So let me get a tripod out. We're going to build this up and show you what it looks like. All right, we've got the Zeus cage mounted here on this tripod. So what we're going to start with is one of these handles. So I can add one of these handles here at the top. So I'll loosen this up here. I can actually slide this in at the top, lock it down with this clamp. Now, this is just one of the angles that you can have this handle set to. And then if I loosen this top clamp, I already have mine slightly loose. You can actually rotate this handle to be in this direction here. And this is good to have more of the balance behind the camera in case you're using like rails and you have some other accessories here. If your balance point is back here, you can have your handle pointing to the rear, or you could flip it around and point it to the front if your camera is more front heavy. If you're using like a big lens with follow focus and all that stuff, you can have your handle here up front. But again, you can mount it sideways. So you could have it like this, have your accessories mounted over here. You've got two shoes on this side, as well as flipping it this way. I like to use it this way because I have the shoes up front, which I use for microphones. I also have the rod adapter here in the front. So then all you have to do is tighten up this red knob here and it will stay in place. All right, so in this kit we have a second handle. Now you can get this kit in just a cage one handle, or two handles, or buy the handles separately if you want to add more handles. They provided two handles here. So I'm gonna add this second one on this side. So I could just slide this up, clamp it here on the side. Now you notice I have it angled in this direction. I'm gonna loosen this up. And then I can turn the handle down this way so my shoe is here at the top. But again, you can actually rotate it this way if you have accessories that you want to mount on the side over here. But or again, if you want to mount it up this way. But for me, I'm going to mount it this way. I could use it as a regular handle and use the shoes. So let me tighten this up here. All right, so you can see how that looks. All right, so one of the first things I'm going to add here is a Rode Filmmaker kit, this wireless kit. I'm going to put this here on the side, and then I can run my cable into this mic port. Now, again, there are no HDMI or audio kind of locks, but you do have this cable pinch. So let me show you how that works. Comes off in two pieces. We can choose an area where we want to mount this. I think I'll just mount it up here for now. So it acts more as strain relief for your cable. So I'm just going to run the cable in here. And then I'm going to add the knob back to the front. That'll hold the cable in place from getting pulled out, so it's more like strain relief. But because this adapter is slotted, I can actually add several cables to this one pinch here, and I can lock them all down and manage all the cables. I'll also show you something cool where you can coil up a cable and use it to manage that as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, and we're going to add some additional accessories to this setup. Okay, so this little adapter here is going to allow me to use two different audio sources into one camera. This is not any type of preamp. It's kind of like a splitter, but what it's doing is it's taking one audio input and sending it only to the left channel. It's taking a second audio input and sending it only to the right channel. And then I'll be able to manage each of those feeds independently and adjust the volume so one's not louder than the other. And because they're recorded on two separate channels, not tracks, but channels, I can in post manage each one if I want to reduce or increase the volume of each of those channels separately. So an adapter like this is pretty cheap, but it'll let you attach, say, two lab microphones to one camera body in case you're interviewing two people. You have them on two different audio channels. So anyways, I'm going to mount this up here. Now instead of a lab mic, I'm just going to add this shotgun microphone here. This is a Rode video mic. Mount it up here at the top. I'll run one to the right channel. I'll run my lab mic into the left channel. Then we have a cable that goes on the output, and this will go back into the camera input. All right, so taking a look at this here, I have one audio input going to the left channel, one on the right. I'm able to manage each one of those independently with the volume knobs here in the front of this Beach-Tech adapter. And then I have this audio cable that comes out, and then it goes back into the camera. So again, my left channel is going to be one audio source, my right's going to be a different audio source. So with this cable hanging out here, we want to manage these cables. So I could actually coil this up. I can slide it into one of these little audio adapters here. So I'm taking up all the extra slack. And I can use this to kind of manage all my excess cable. Again, you don't have to mount it at this location. If we wanted to mount something up here, one of these audio adapters or audio pinches, we can run one up here as well. So it's very cool. It's a lot more functional than just having a lock dedicated to one corner of your cage. This one you can move around and you can use multiple cables in one single adapter. Anyways, at this point, maybe I want to add a monitor. I can use the 15mm clamp here at the front. So a monitor like this here is going to give me a lot more scopes and waveforms than what's available in the Sony camera. And it'll also give me an option to use a loop if I needed to in case it's really, really bright outdoors. All right, so we have a monitor up here. We have our loop if it's too bright outside. We've got a first audio source and a second audio source here. Now this could very well be two lab microphones if I'm interviewing two people. And now this is just using the handles, the shoes, and the clamp, but we have a lot of threaded mounts here, so if I wanted to, I could add an LED light to the side of this. So there you go. That's just a quick example of the type of accessories we could mount when we have a cage like this. Without a cage system, you can only mount one thing to the shoe of the camera. So something like this is going to let you expand, let you have different tools mounted to your rig, and let you be a little bit more productive. Anyways, that's a quick look at Varavon's Zeus cage for the A7R II or the A7S II. One of the best cages out there right now. It's got a lot of functionality. These handles can be positioned in a lot of different ways, a lot of mounting solutions here. These little cable adapters are pretty clever, and it just looks great. So if you guys have any questions about this stuff, check out Varavon's website. There'll be some links below this video, or also check out the article on my website, Cheesycam.com.